Chris, I believe we are live.
Yes, we are.
What's up, everybody? It's Will
And Chris
from The High Five and Knuckles Up. September 14th, Knuckles Up 4. It is about to go down, the biggest and baddest event in North America. Yeah, you heard me right. We've been here, and we're about to kill it once again. But we have a very, very special guest here today, live on YouTube and Instagram. The Armbender himself, coming back to Knuckles Up, Craig Tullier, ladies and gentlemen. Craig, how you feeling, brother?
Feeling awesome, guys. Thank y'all for having me. I'm excited.
Yes, so are we. Now, big match coming up against James. Is it Wall? I keep saying because it's Brick, but Wall. It's you know what? You know what? He's a wall that's about to fall down. Okay,
That's right. Knocking the mortar down, bro.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I am so excited. Now, we just saw, obviously, a very, very impressive match that you had against Tom Holland at East vs. West. Walk us through that. How did that, play out? I mean, from what we were watching, it seemed like a walk in the park.
Yeah, super dominant, very impressive.
Yeah, guys. I've watched Tom through my career. It's kind of crazy. When I met with Tom over the weekend before our match, I got to talk with him and I talked to Neil Pickup some. And what I realized, what was really crazy, y'all, is I arm wrestled Tom's dad at the World Championships in 1994.
That's so cool.
It's crazy, man. He comes from just a line of just powerhouses. And, Tom is so strong. His statue is very misleading, So I was really, looking forward to pulling him. His dad is just a strong arm wrestler. He's a beast, and I knew Tom's been doing so well and he's very strong. So I was leading into the match. I was very, very concerned with, how the match was going to go. I was very prepared. And, once we got the match going, I felt really good pulling with him. But I was concerned at first. Really, I was.
Yeah, it was definitely, after Tom has now been on Knuckles Up twice. He had a really interesting match with Baek-sung Yul from Korea, which kind of went in some ways people thought it would, in some ways people didn't. And then, of course, his incredible match against Jason Merlo, which was an absolute grinder. And having seen him and you at the round robin not that long ago, I thought it would have been a little bit closer. But so I don't know what you were doing to prepare, but Craig, man, we had in the chat here, some people are saying that this is probably the best shape. Actually, it's Jason Merlo himself saying it's the best shape he's probably ever seen you in. So I know he's worried. But how? I got a random question. I know the right is the money arm. Do you pull often with your left or not really?
I do. And Will, what's crazy is I've always been very, very. I'm left-handed.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people don't know that they see me arm wrestle right-handed so much. What's crazy is I've always competed in my whole beginning of my career up to like 8 years ago. I was second in the world left-handed. My left was very, very good, just like my right. But I injured my shoulder, and I had to kind of stay docile, like competing left-handed, but I've trained my left. So my left now has gotten to where now I'm back able to train it, and I'm back competing with it. So I'm hoping for everybody to kind of see, my left getting out there,
Ooh, you're getting me excited, Craig. You can't keep talking to me like this. You're getting me excited because, Craig knows that, first of all, let me address the chats. Thank you guys for logging in, everybody on Instagram, everybody on YouTube. Of course, like, comment, subscribe. And if you are not getting your pay-per-view yet, you're wrong. Or your in-person tickets, go to thehigh5aw.com and get them now. But Craig knows that we do something very special at Knuckles Up. And that is we have all the athletes talk amongst themselves and they put some special matchups. Now, Craig, you've seen the card. The infinite amount of possibilities for these secret matches are wild. So that's going to be probably all I'm talking about at every single meal. But you've seen the card. Other than your own match, is there any one of the matches that really stuck out for you where you're like, damn, that's going to be crazy?
Jordan and Marcio is like, I'm very interested in that match because I go way back with Marcio and I know what he's possible of doing. And he's so strong. Jordan is so impressive. I want to see that match is going to be very interesting to me. You know, I'm very, very interested in seeing that. The girl, now I'm probably not going to pronounce her name correctly. The girl from Japan.
Ayane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She is unbelievably strong.
Yeah.
That's the next one that I'm like so anxious to see. I was very impressed with her at the East versus West, what she did. That was just insane. So I'm very interested in that. I worked with Robbie a lot when we did our training session to get ready for Sveton. And you know, Robbie's probably, I would say Robbie's the strongest he's ever been that I've known Robbie right now. So he's primed and ready. And I think that he's going to really shock the world what he's going to do.
Really? Yeah. Wow. I mean, speaking of someone who has firsthand experience, you are the best at that. Obviously, guys, if you didn't go back to watch Knuckles Up 1, Craig had a very, very tough battle against Svetlana Gashevsky. Craig, do you want that rematch?
Oh, I would love to pull Svetlana again.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I would pull him different, you know, definitely. But yes, Svetlana's an unbelievable athlete, you know, and I seen the advertisement for him and Chance. I think that Chance is going to have to take that match extremely serious.
Oh, yeah. It was a teaser. And it got a lot of hype behind that one.
Oh, you know? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think people, you know, after pulling him yourself, right, do you still think people underestimate Svetlana?
Oh, absolutely. Now they say, you know, oh, they hear about him and they think, but what they don't realize is what they're dealing with when they pull him. You know, because he's a whole different ball game of anything that anybody can ever, you know, they can go against this one or that one. You know, I've pulled probably 4 separate King's Move people that's arms don't straighten. I've pulled Crazy George. I pulled with Michael Todd. I've pulled Pascal, Gerard. I mean, I've pulled a bunch of them. And I'm going to tell you right now, you know, he's a whole different animal to deal with that a lot of people think they're ready, but they're not ready for.
Yeah.
And what, like, out of curiosity, like, what do you think is so unique about his, like, you know, kind of King's Move that's different than the rest? Yeah.
So Chris, what's crazy is most King's Move guys, any ones that I've ever pulled, their hands, they really don't care about positioning because their arm doesn't straighten. So what happens is they seem to lose their hand very easy. And then what happens is you run into their arm. And when you run into their arm and you start going, your own hand starts kind of going, okay? So what happens is they rely on that arm, you know, kind of running the opponent's hand and arm out, basically. All right, so the easiest way to pronounce, you know, to say it. But with Svetlana, his arm is kind of pronated. And so his turning is not like everybody else's because most of the time they fight for jumping out real quick. Well, his arm is doing that automatically.
That's crazy.
So it's not like any other King's Mover, you know.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I missed the opportunity to grip up with him, but I
Same.
can't.
Yeah, we were so busy on that first one. I think, you know, Chris, this time around with people like Craig, like we're gonna set some. Maybe we'll even set some. We're gonna set some private time aside, and we're gonna be a little selfish, and we're just gonna be all right, guys. King of the table, but Chris and I always lose, and we don't leave the table.
I was gonna say, I don't think I'm gonna move you, Craig.
We're just gonna stay there and just be like, wow, I just keep losing from everyone. No, we're super, super excited, and we're so thankful that you're coming. You know, it's going to be an absolutely amazing night.
I'm fired up, guys. I'm fired up. Thank y'all.
Yeah, I'm so pumped, and just to have you back again, because you know I've said this before a couple times, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You, sir, are one of the most respectful gentlemen and just standout arm wrestlers I've ever met in the short time I've been in the sport, but I've gotten to meet, thankfully, a lot of people. So props to you for your sportsmanship, the way you carry yourself. You and your wife, you guys are absolutely incredible. So we're super pumped to have you back. But yes, now getting back to the event, right? So you're excited about those matches. Now, your travel isn't too bad. We did talk to James, and right, he has to fly over the pond. He feels very confident right now. Something Chris had pointed out in your match, with Tom Holland, it seemed as though, and correct us if we're wrong, you were applying a lot more back pressure than you normally do. There wasn't as much as the crazy sideways hits from Craig Tullier. Not to give too much away to your opponent, but are you going with a similar game plan? Do you have different ideas in mind after studying him?
So Tom has a very long arm. So I practiced my training up to the match with Tom was different than it is with James. James has a more, I haven't seen him in person. From what it seems, naturally his arm is definitely shorter than Tom's. Tom's very tall and long, kind of like Kevin Bongard. So James, from what I've been studying and been training my training for James, he's got an extremely strong inside hook. He also has kind of a downward hook. And I've been training my defense and offense is for that. So my training has been different. It's going to be different than when I pulled Tom. It is because I had to use some back pressure to try to separate because Tom's coming to me so much. And because he's going to scoop to get his hook. And I knew that. So my training was a little different for Tom. And this whole plan for James is different.
Yeah. So what you're saying is we're going to see the first ever Tullier Kings move.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
James, if you're watching, he told you it's going to be
That's
a
right.
Kings move, round one. There you go.
That's right.
Which is cool. So I guess one thing I was curious about, like in terms of game plan, I think you guys are both going into the hook. Like, is that something like, would you try to, not necessarily King's move, but is top roll even an option there? Or do you think, what, I'm just going to stick to what I know is strong? How does that game plan work out?
Chris, there's some people that know a lot about me. Everybody thinks that all I do is hook, but I actually have a very good top roll. I just, my side pressure is so strong and for me training it that, I train my hand. So sometimes I don't get challenged to the point of where I have to top roll, right? So if it does not go where it needs to go or where I want it to go, it can easily or very, very well go to the top roll if it has to. It's there if I need it. I've been training my top roll a lot, and I would say that my top roll is as good as my hook.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And how's the weight sitting now? What are you sitting at roughly?
So I've been trying to, because of that round robin that I did, I've been trying to get my weight up, because it's very hard. As y'all know, I normally walk around from 185-ish to 192. And, I pulled the round robin. I was fully dressed and pulled the 198 round robin, and I was still underweight. And, I've been, because the guys that I've been focusing on to pull are always so heavier than me. That 95 kilo, I've been trying to get up to 200. And so I'm sitting at about 200 to 202, which is
Nice
big for me.
Sure.
And I can say that I've been holding the weight, and I feel very, very strong at the body weight I am. I can drop weight so easily. 85 kilos is so easy for me to make. We're doing it at 95 kilo, and I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm still going to be probably lighter than James. I don't know what James' walk around weight is, but he seems to be bigger than me. But I'm excited.
Yeah, just a quick shout. We have some cool people in the chat. I think Eduardo Tiete just joined
on
Instagram. That's pretty dope. How you doing, Eduardo? That's another one from that round robin, another crazy puller. And we also had some comments getting some more French athletes at Knuckles Up.
America was just at East versus West.
That's right. I think we should definitely send him a message. We want to get people from all over the globe. Now, Craig, something I've been bringing up with every single interview that we're having here is if you didn't know already, we are bringing arm wrestling back to the Arnold Classic coming this March. So we're super, super pumped about that. And for people such as yourself, we're trying to set up not just some super matches, but possibly some more round robins. So keep your schedule open, Craig, because I don't remember the last time you went to Ohio, but I think we might have to make that happen.
Hey, I'm down, bro. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, I see. I knew he would say yes. Craig doesn't say that. Craig doesn't back down from a challenge.
That's right.
Speaking of, actually, so I know obviously you don't want to look too far past your current opponent of James, but is there anybody on the kind of the hit list, the chopping block that you'd really like to have a match against in the future card?
So Chris, if it's going to be an American,
Could be anyone.
I would like to go ahead and settle the score with Brandon Assessner.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it kind of was a messed up deal with how it went down at the Monster Factory, and I would love to go ahead and squash that.
Okay, I like it.
How about somebody like overseas? Again, it goes pretty far for us.
Yes. Man, it's hard to say right now, Chris. I mean, there's quite a bit of them on my radar. I just if we can get them is the problem.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It does get tough. KAF Arm Wrestling is in the chat. What's up, guys? Thank you for joining. Nadia as well. Now, all right. So some of the plans, obviously, that Chris and I always have is we're always trying to bring new people, new faces to Knuckles Up, right? One of the ones that I'm actually super bummed about, right? So let's just say we'll do some fantasy here as like you win your match against James. And unfortunately, Robbie loses against Svetan. I think we could set up that rematch. Might be pretty nice for January 25th. But I am so bummed. If you didn't know, Craig, Baek Sung Yul actually had a pretty major injury. And his elbow. So that was one we were hoping to put together because of what he did to Tom. And what he did to Tom. I thought that would have been a great match. But was it a torn ligament? I think it was.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, no, man. I hate to hear that.
Yeah. So that was one that our guilty pleasure. We were like, oh, these two side pressure beasts.
I know. I would have loved to pull him. He's one of them that I wanted to.
Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully, if you can, send him a message, right? Because I know he is on the mend. I'm not sure if he got surgery or not.
I don't know. I think he's probably going to need it for sure.
Yeah, he's probably going to need it for sure. So we will see. Oh, Eric Harlan with the super chat. Thank you so much, brother. We truly appreciate that. Chris, you want to show that one up there? When will we see the rematch? Right hand of Craig Tullier versus Paul Passmore. Craig lost.
There you go.
Ooh, this is interesting. That could be a good one. We've heard a lot of good things about Paul Passmore.
Yeah, Paul Passmore is a beast, man. So actually, I'm sure y'all know, we might have talked, but so in Alabama State, me and him met at the overalls, and because I won my class and he won his, and I pinned him, and they called a foul, and then in the second match when I went for the pin, I tore my pec, and it was a war. So yes, he's a beast.
And now that was this past year.
That was in February.
Oh, but that was on the left arm, right?
No, right.
That was on the right. Oh,
right.
Okay. So how in the hell are you coming back so fast?
You want me to tell y'all? Stem cells.
Yeah. Okay. Just bring them on to me. I got a torn labrum. Like Chris. I mean, he's not as beat up as I am, but we're all beat up.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, Vitacell's amazing, bro. Vitacell's amazing.
Man. We got to have some chats with them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, it's honestly impressive. Like, it's very inspirational to see, like, the comeback. Because I remember the conversations we had, and I was like, man, like, because obviously you're supposed to be on the previous card, but, obviously, with the injury and all. But the comeback you've made after that it's wild. It's like, it almost was for the better. It seemed like.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming, Craig, it wasn't like a tendon rupture. It was just like a muscle belly tear?
Yeah, it was in the center of my pec.
Okay.
It actually was a grade 2 tear, which my doctor. Wow. Yeah, we did an MRI and a sonogram and ultrasound, and the MRI showed it was a grade 2 tear, which they actually told me really needed surgery. Because one good thing is it wasn't from the tendon connection.
Sure.
So I went on and I contacted Rob and Vitacell and man, they I got stem cell treatment. And I actually had it ultrasound guided straight into the tear.
Perfect.
And I'm telling y'all, I'm stronger than I've ever been right now.
Wow, that's incredible. I know because with a good friend of mine tore his chest in the same way. It was the muscle belly, not from the tendon. And it's a tough repair because usually they'll have to put mesh in, and it never really is the same. So wow, that's pretty that's pretty incredible that they were able to do that for you. And as Chris had said, you're just on an absolute tear right now. So yeah, I mean, whatever those in those stem cells, I need some, man. They are working.
They're legit.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. But yeah, so everyone who's listening, September 14th, Knuckles Up 4. We're back at the Barrymore Film Center in Fort Lee, New Jersey. And then, guys, you can actually use Craig. You have your code, right? So they can get their pay-per-view and get 10% off. And it's the code. Is it just Craig Tullier? Was it? Yep. Code Craig Tullier. Yep. Get 10% off your pay-per-view, guys. It gives it back to the athletes and gives you guys at home a little bit of a discount as well. So we're super pumped about that. Yeah, I am just thrilled that you're coming back, Craig. It's exciting. It's amazing that where we've come in this past year, right? Because it's been actually still under a year since our first event, and now we're on number 4. So yeah, it's going to be a wild night for sure.
Yeah, I want to thank y'all for everything y'all have done, man. Y'all are amazing. Y'all do so much for the athletes. Y'all do so much for everybody, man. And anybody out there that ask anything about Knuckles Up, I tell them straight up, man. Y'all are amazing. Y'all do amazing things, and there's a big future coming.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, and we can't even wait for you to see the new venue in person.
Oh, that's right.
It's going to be completely different than the ballroom. And I guess one question I had is, we talked about the other people on the card. Is there anyone that you wanted to kind of grip up with? I know Jason was one he wanted to grip up with you. Is there anyone specific?
I actually would like to pull or actually grip up with Plyman.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
That'd be a crazy match, too.
Yes, bro. He's a nasty top roller, bro. And I'd like to, get a little feel of it.
Oh, man. See, now I got to ask, though, and this is just from me not doing enough of my homework, but because you are obviously a hook puller, right? If you're pulling against another guy, right, that is also a hook puller, usually you won't end up in the strap. Do you feel more comfortable inside of a strap no matter what? Or is it something you stay away from? Or what? How do you feel about that?
So for myself or someone else?
For yourself. Yeah,
so for myself, Will, I love the straps. And the reason why is I feel that the straps, is a big part of hand strength. Mm-hmm. And I train my hand and wrist 5 times a week. So I'm big about hand strength training. And when it's so hard sometimes to stay hooked together with someone, when you slip, when you go to the straps, it's so locked in and so more hand and wrist, they can't get away. Right. So I feel way stronger in the straps and I love it.
Yeah, that's why pulling with Clement, getting them in some straps, that could be really interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he's weighing, I think, about 185, right? I think he said.
He said something like 90 kg is where he is. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, 198. Okay. Yeah, I'd love to grip up with that.
Yeah, that whole Bulgarian crew coming over is going to be absolutely wild.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've always had Sasho in my sights, but he's a beast, man.
Yeah. That's going to be wild. That's going to be absolutely wild. Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I think the people at home aren't going to. They don't even know what's coming to them, right? I mean, this card, these matchup, it's absolutely wild. And as I had mentioned before, so Craig, just to obviously we've talked about it already, but we want to get you a match for January 25th, right? Because it's our 5th event. We're the high 5. It's like a big moment for us, right?
Yeah.
Milestone. So we're planning on having at least 10 matches at that event, and even hopefully some YouTube cards to start out and getting the community involved and all that type of stuff. Now, I know you had mentioned already that you're open to the left arm. Mm-hmm. Is there anyone you want to pull lefty possibly?
For this card or next?
No, for the next card, not on this one. Not on this one. Because where do you sit now? Because you just started competing again, you said on the left. Where do you sit in the United States in terms of, because on the right, you're the number 1, right? In the 198s.
Yeah.
Where do you sit on the left?
Yeah. So it's been so long that they really don't have me ranked in the left, but
interesting.
I'm not, I'm a humble guy, so I don't say, but my left is pretty dang decent. And a lot of people will let you know that if you ask them that are on that top of that list.
Mhm.
So at 198 pounds, 298, 198 or 200-pound range, my left is, I'm going to say right now, it's in the top 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yes.
That's really good.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I feel like sometimes that left arm doesn't really get that much love. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, like, for example, I think Jason's left.
He is
Orderly-
begging for it, Chris. I don't know if you're seeing this, Craig, but Jason is just every other message. He's like, "Oh, Craig, on the left. If they want to follow me on the left, Craig.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, we might have to do that.
Yeah, I think we might have to do that.
Yeah,
Hopefully you
yeah.
guys just have some nice cruising rounds, and that secret match will have
Yeah.
to be the left-handed match of Jason
Yeah.
Rollo and Craig Tullier.
Yeah.
But, oh man, that's gonna be exciting. Are you doing anything differently? Obviously, we talked about your style of training, how this versus Tom is a little bit different. Have things changed in your diet, your lifestyle? Or are you basically just on cruise control now, just like moving through all these matches throughout this next year?
Well, I've been I've been very, very trying to be very smart with my my nutrition, far as staying with my repairing and because my protein intake and I am blessed with an extremely good metabolism. But see,
Good.
the thing about it is it's very hot over here with us working, and with my type of work I do, I drink around 2 gallons of water a day.
Wow.
And I have to monitor my water to make sure I'm getting enough because I get dehydrated. And I've been pretty locked in on my protein intake, my amount of carbs and stuff, so I can keep my repairing and my branched chain amino acids I'm taking. So my supplementation has to be right because I'm training so much. I mean, I actually just trained for 2 hours right before we having our session right here.
That's awesome.
So
I think we gotta go down. Craig, can we come down and have a training session?
hey, come on, bro.
Oh man, I think that would be awesome. I don't know if my fiance would like. Oh yeah, we're going on vacation. No, yeah, we're just going to train with Craig Tullier.
Yeah, come on. That'd be awesome.
Man, I think that'd be awesome. Actually, real quick, Matarangi Hetamoris has just joined on the Instagram Live. He's going to be having a killer match against Toshiyuki Shishido from Japan.
Yes.
So guys, don't forget about that one. That's going to be wild. Yeah, man, what a card. I know people are like, oh, he doesn't shut up. Nah, man, I'm never going to shut up. What a card. It's going to be wild. It's going to be insane. Now, Craig, we got your jersey ready, your hoodie ready, all the goods and everything like that. Is there anything you need to make you successful to have the most banging match ever?
I just need ready to go.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Ready, set, go. Oh,
that's right.
My goodness. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. We are having some updates for everybody watching and for yourself. We will have 3 referees at this next event. So we'll have a down ref, a head ref, and we're going to have somebody specifically just running the
instant replay.
Thank you, instant replay.
Yeah.
So that this way we don't have to take away any more time. We want to be as efficient as possible. So that we're very, very excited about that. There's some returning refs, some new ones as well. But yeah, it's going to be a good time. Now, before we get done, Craig, obviously we want to thank you once again for hopping on here tonight. And guys, you got to see it. Him, James Wall. It's going to be absolutely crazy.
It's going to be fire. It's going to be fire.
That's it. You heard it from Craig, the Armbender himself. But the floor is yours, Craig. And now James had some interesting things to say. We talked about the fact that he's a redcoat coming over here trying to mess with the good old US of A.
That's right.
So if you have a message, the floor is yours to your opponent, James Wall.
James, all I can say, man, is it's awesome to get to pull with you. But look, you're coming across the pond to our territory, buddy. And you're going to have to go back, man. I'm sorry. It ain't going to work.
I love it. Absolutely. Chris, did you have anything else for Craig here?
No, same thing again. Just echoing, thank you again. You were there for our very first event. To have you come back on 4 is awesome. For giving us the opportunity when we literally had never even put on an event before. It really shows how much you want to give back and want to see the sport grow. So we can't wait to kind of give it back to you to show like, hey, you invested in us and look what we did with it. So it's
thank
going to be awesome.
Thank you, Chris. Thank y'all so much. Will, Chris, thank y'all so much, man.
Yeah, we're super, super excited. So now just send me your address because we'll be coming over this weekend.
Yeah.
And we'll make it happen.
Heck yeah.
There too.
Oh, man, absolutely crazy. Well, guys, everybody on Instagram, everybody here in the YouTube, don't forget to join our YouTube Premium, that's where we do all of our hidden matches and some special polling as well. It's going to be coming up. But Craig, thank you once again. Guys, that is it for us. Stay tuned. We're going to have another interview next week, hopefully with Big Bag Lauren Shawley coming over from England in the strongman scene. But Craig, keep training, stay strong, and we will see you soon.
Thank you, guys.